In order to optimize your camera for taking pictures of kids and pets, there's really just one thing you need to keep in mind. Kids and pets aren't going to slow down for you to take the picture. So you want a pretty fast shutter speed, and you also want the focusing to be as fast as possible. So this camera does give you a scene mode for kids and pets. You can turn your mode dial to SCN, and in the back you can choose kids or pets. I have pets right here, and I have baby 2 and baby 1. These two baby settings, as well as the pet setting, allows you to save a name as well as a date of birth to all the pictures that are taken using these modes. And that can be pretty fun. Another thing the two baby settings will do is reduce the power of the flash if the flash is being used, so you don't blind the child. So just choose the appropriate setting, press set. It'll ask you to set an age and a name if you haven't already, and then press set again to escape. Now the camera has been optimized. This mode does allow me to control white balance, which is great because I may be taking these pictures indoors or outdoors, so the auto white balance is really not great for both situations. So I'll either set the white balance either to daylight or halogen, depending on where I'm located. But if you want to be able to control the shutter speed as well as the focusing, you won't be able to use this mode. So the other thing you can do is go back to the program mode. Again, this is the mode I normally use, so just keep it right here. Your focusing, if you have trouble focusing, I would recommend using the manual focus, and I'll cover this in a little bit. But basically it's very simple. Just optimize your ISO and white balance for the scene. Go ahead and press the quick menu button. The white balance, if you're outdoors, go with daylight. If it's cloudy or if you're in the shade, you can warm up the tones by choosing one or the other. If you're indoors, go ahead and choose halogen. Then move over to ISO. If you're indoors and there isn't a lot of light, you want to increase the ISO so you'll be able to increase the shutter speed. If you're outdoors and there's plenty of light, stick to 80 ISO for the cleanest image possible. I'm assuming we're outdoors, so I'll just go ahead and stick to 80 ISO. Go ahead and press the quick menu button to escape the menu. And in order to achieve the fast shutter speed for the moving subjects, what you want to do is press the shutter button halfway. Look at the shutter speed down at the bottom of the camera and see if this is fast enough. If this is not fast enough, then what you can do is just use your quick menu joystick to move up and down in order to increase or decrease the shutter speed. So right now, with the amount of light I have, I can go up, choosing a slightly larger aperture, and get a faster shutter speed that will help me stop the action. Then I'll go back to the shutter button, press it halfway to focus, recompose, wait for the action to happen, and then take my picture. Now if you want to use the flash, you can just pop it right here. And as with the baby scene modes, I would recommend lowering the power of the flash. And that's quite simple. Just press the up navigation button to access the exposure. Press that 3 times to get to flash exposure. And then either use the left or right navigation buttons or the quick menu joystick to move the value to -2 so the flash won't be so powerful. Now remember, if the subject is far away, a low power flash really won't affect very much. If the subject is about 10 feet away, then a flash exposure value of 0 is pretty good. If it's closer, then I would go down, and if it's more than 10 feet away, you need to increase that. But in this case, because we may have sensitive kids, I'm going to decrease the power of the flash. Press set to escape. Now I'm ready to take my picture. If you don't want to use the flash, or if the subject is too far away, then go ahead and put that down to turn it off, and increase the ISO. Press the quick menu button and choose a higher ISO. This will make the camera more sensitive to the amount of ambient light. Go ahead and press the button again to accept. And now when I press the shutter button halfway, you can see that my shutter speed is much faster, and I'll be able to stop the action. Focus on your target, press the shutter button halfway, recompose, and take the picture. Now because it is a moving target, you may have issues focusing. Cameras do have difficulty focusing on moving targets. And then what you would want to do is go to MF for manual focus. Basically, using the up or down navigation button or the joystick, you can move the distance meter to the appropriate distance from the subject. If my subject is about 6 feet away, I'll just set it right there, then position myself about 6 feet from the subject or 2 meters from the subject, press the shutter button halfway, recompose, and then take the picture. As far as the manual focus ruler is concerned, you can see it here. Right now it's set to feet and inches, but in the main menu I can change this to meters and centimeters if that's more comfortable. To find out much more about digital photography and your digital camera, go to lbguides.com.